So, what do you do in this situation? That's right. Game devs have pushed the medium to the limit in pursuit of the ultimate ninja game. It's a rich concept to explore, deadly, even mystical assassins pulled in every possible direction. Nin quiet, nin cute, nin kill. Ninjas are great, but aside from some key bullet points, there's plenty of wiggle room for developer vision. Saboteur, Ninja Gaiden, early titles were built on aesthetics and challenge. They knew ninjas were cool, whether they were slinking around or killing boxers. The introduction of the third dimension contextualizes gaming's obsession with technological advancement. In an instant, countless new visions, ways to engage, gushed from the burst pipe of possibility. What if a ninja was actually like a ninja? Tenchu defined the ninja game through 3D gaming's early years with compelling stealth play and maybe the purest, most concise vision of the concept, sneaking, slashing, and slinging your grappling hook into the murky future. Of course, Ninja Gaiden and its 2005 re-release, Ninja Gaiden Black, rewrote the action game playbook, weighting almost everything on visuals, mechanics, and bodacious, breasterly women. Which is unfortunate because Red Ninja hit the Xbox and PS2 in the very same year, going for all the same things and fumbling most. Amateur, messy, rough to wrangle, Red Ninja racked up heaps of criticism for daring to suck, compared to some of the most praised games ever made. Oh my god! This is awful! Red Ninja was hardly the first rough ninja game. Look at iNinja. What is this, guys? What are we doing here? A game where you decapitate an innocent old man in the first 5 minutes?
What have I done? Why are we still here? Just to suffer.
Loading into Red Ninja, it's easy to take a look at the scores and think, sure, I get it. You're supposed to sneak around, but you don't really have to sneak at all. Enemies notice you for seemingly no reason. Sometimes you get away with murder. Things weird. The camera's rough. It's stiff and... Hold on a minute. Yo, hold a minute. Turns out, Red Ninja is not a bad game. Red Ninja is cool. Red Ninja is fun. But I didn't immediately understand that. Ripping up the floorboards reveals a vibrant, ambitious, and striking experience. And some real smelly stuff, but let's put it in perspective. Things got a weird little backstory. Two small-time studios, Urtain and Opus, formed a joint venture in Trangi Studio, which has exactly one game, Red Ninja End of Honor. Little on the nose, guys. Or the Japanese name, Red Ninja Blood River Dance. So named because it's a stealth action hybrid. Being spotted doesn't cause a fail state, and you are very equipped to handle most enemies. It's the first title ever designed and directed by Kenichiro Takaki, the Senran Kagura guy. That's like the boobiest guy. The story is surprisingly cinematic, or at least you can tell a cinema head wrote it, and big surprise, the script was handled by Shinsuke Sato. Yeah, the guy who wrote the Bleach movie. And a bunch of other animated film adaptations, and the Kingdom series of films. It's some kind of pedigree. So what's with the feedback? One thing has effectively flattened games discussion for the better part of 3 decades, and that thing is comparison. Red Ninja was never judged on its own merits or actively parsed by its critics, being dismissively compared to Tenchu, Splinter Cell, games that are decidedly stealth first. Most critics of the era were quick to note Red Ninja's unique qualities, seduction, the Tetsugen, but soon waved them away because the core was not sufficiently palatable compared to what they knew. It was just a Tenchu knockoff. After all, why look any deeper? Anything with ninjas and stealth pretenses is Tenchu. I mean, obviously! GameSpy, 30%. IGN, 40%. XPlay, 40%. GameSpot, 54%. Surely we found the worst ninja game. These scores sound extreme, and on a first play, I could see it, but there's a critical piece of context. Nowadays, if I emulate a video game, I tend to play it without fundamental alterations, except for the occasional widescreen patch. Because I like them thick, and some PS2 games natively support 16:9 display already. So I, ignorant, clicked on the 60 FPS patch. Why not? I thought, surely it's only an improvement. I played a broken, ridiculous nightmare game. Not completely awful, not unbeatable, but worthy of the 30 to 50% critics gave it. Worth a little vom. Certain mechanics were totally broken. I couldn't access the character's bullet time super move, and I thought I was just missing something. Physics broke in bizarre places. Enemy hitboxes did not register. I couldn't grab this ledge, except in a very particular way. One boss wouldn't act how it was supposed to, forcing me to finagle the AI into cooperation. It was absurd, almost unplayable. But I watched a couple long play videos and got suspicious. So, figuring I made some terrible mistake, I went back to basics. No patches, mostly faithful presentation, knowledge in hand, and it was a totally different game. Red Ninja is the story of Kurenai, once a child left for dead, hung by a Tetsugen, family murdered at the hands of the Black Lizard clan, then rescued and trained by this Chiyome, and now a fully fledged ninja in service to Lord Shingen Takeda.
Lord Shingen.
Lord Shingen. Lord Shingen.
Y'all want any jam? Y'all chewing jam?
Okay, it's not that big a deal. It's just a little...
Steven Spielberg desk.
Kurenai, master of the very weapon that almost took her life. It's a compelling hook. There's some pretext to all the painting she gets up to. Regardless of how it's played, Xbox, PS2, 60 FPS patch or no, Red Ninja is a stiff game. Kurenai constantly builds up momentum and becomes difficult to steer after a point. It's sold as a stealth title. You're rewarded for silent takedowns with not having to engage in combat. Fiddly lock-on, slow-ass wire blade shit! And yet sneaking is a challenge. You're meant to creep through areas with soft steps, but maintaining the stick control necessary can be a challenge. What can I say? I got heavy thumbs. And impatience is a factor. Any enemy you see is a simple jump away from instantaneous death. Look at that. Like a leaping chimp. And the less patient player will probably find themselves running, skipping, flipping, and thrusting their way through any given stage. Size doesn't matter if you know how to use it.
You gotta be kidding me right now.
Shut up, I almost got it.
Just give me the knife, I'll do it myself.
I don't like complaining about cameras because most camera whining is actually just wrong.
The camera's so bad.
Skill issue. Grow up! But it genuinely does bump up against the environment and jerk around at odd times, resets itself, rests itself out of your hands, so you always want to be moving forward in a relatively straight line to avoid too much visual jerkery. This, I think, is where the poor ratings come from, but I look at controls a little differently myself. Sure, it's a bit to learn, but you're rewarded with a snappy, risky, aggressive little stealth action experience, which looks so much better without widescreen. By the way, the normal aspect ratio tunnels your vision, which complements the rapid forward-moving play. That's the kind of thing you never find out going for the Ultra HD upscaled texture 4K experience. See these orcs? Don't tell me they look good. When you take the time to learn, it's surprisingly enjoyable, mostly because of the... Yeah. Take a look at how many animations they rigged.
Double kill, triple kill, overkill, killing spree, kill, trust, kill him, job.
And while the stages are set, linear challenge rooms, you're given a bit of room for expression. Red Ninja isn't much of a stealth game, like critics said, because again, it's a stealth action hybrid. It won't fail you for being spotted. That's important. Go back and play Thief on PC and marvel at the beauty that is saving and instantly reloading on failure. Console stealth titles punish players with long loading screens for something as innocuous as failing to notice an enemy in a dark room. Yeah, that cheaty super sight stuff exists to keep you playing, by the way. I don't think most people can finish the bag of carrots in their fridge, let alone video games, let alone stealth games. Or in the case of Styx and the OG Thief, you're forced into combat. That'll usually leave you in the dirt, especially with multiple enemies on screen. Red Ninja says, now go ahead, make mistakes. And it works. Combat is infinitely less satisfying than whatever sweet insta-kill animation you're missing out on, so you want to sneak, you want to play like a ninja, but you're given that critical wiggle room, right? The game didn't punish you. You punished you. You failed yourself. Look at what you've wrought. Why are you like this? Why are you like this? Stupid. In this early room, you can try taking the direct approach, stealthily laying dudes out or wading straight into combat, or you can find your way up to the overhang using the wall jump mechanics, jump into the bushes, or even using wall running from the corner to do the same, and sneak behind the guard captain for a stealthy takedown, which will drop the key and effectively finish the room before having to swing your blade at all. It's awesome. Another early room will let you fight your way slowly through the garden path, but you can jump up and over, saving yourself a lot of time and effort, long as you're willing to pass a couple of dexterity checks. It's one of those janky old games that can be played totally straight or speedrun with enough confidence and knowledge. And admittedly, Red Ninja doesn't keep this energy up. A lot of rooms, especially in the later parts, want you to behave in one specific way. Complete this platforming puzzle, race to the finish, specifically infiltrate from this one point because anything else is tantamount to a fail state. This is definitely what this game is good at. Yeah! I'm kind of fascinated by the inclusion of platforming segments. The game starts pretty low-key with a short slink through an estate, but quickly turns into cave diving, and I can see the appeal. They took the time to work wall jumping and even stiff wall running mechanics into the game, but Kurenai has so much innate momentum, and the camera is so often uncooperative they mostly feel out of place. Helps break up the pace, sure, but the pace was good. The pace was cool. Whoa, whoa, whoa! I can't find another example of these ground spikes in the rest of the game, and so there's no real need for this animation for the rest of the game. There's even an equipable item that improves the ability to use this animation, this move, and it's found immediately after this area, this segment. Y'all been hitting them mind-altering substances, guys? It's a bit of a challenge mishmash, and it's not perfect, but a good chunk of the game will let you express yourself with the mechanics, and that's beautiful. Another huge hurdle is the Tetsugen. Unless you take the time to figure it out, you might only be using the thing at half capacity, and buddy, this thing's half the fun. It's overpowered, the reviewers said. Combat is too easy. Yeah, kinda. It's not about whether the combat is stretching your nipples at peak efficiency, guys. It's about the art.
Oh, I dragged him to his spiky demise.
Of course people hated it. It had the gall to hand them a brush and ask them to paint. So, combat isn't hard, but it can be when you don't know your options. You can lock on and Kurenai is pretty mobile. Look at her jump. Now that's a leap worthy of a platformer. If only she had it when it counted. You can mash a 3/ combo or stay unlocked for a stronger 4-cut combo, which works better on bosses. Tricks of the trade. You throw it with a tap to hook into an enemy. This tethers you and the target. The Tetsugen is a bladed wire, so you can use that tether to slice other enemies, giving you solid crowd control. Another tap will return the blade, either ripping the poor sap apart or taking a good chunk of their health. It's pretty phenomenal for a PS2 game. The trick is, new players might not realize you can aim the blade. Yeah, while locked on and right after throwing it, you can hold up or down on the stick to target an enemy's head or feet. Suddenly, you can decapitate enemies or lop off their legs. This isn't actually relevant to the Tetsugen, mechanically speaking. A dead guy is a dead guy.
My legs! My leg! My leg!
Jesus Christ. Like I said, combat isn't hard. It's about how you choose to paint the scene. You can also do a really big move. There's a really big move. Halfway through the game, you're given a new tool. This weighty flail thing, which will let you grab dudes and drag them over for a clubbing. No. It also gets used for a few boss fights to interact with the environment.
Jerk off, no jutsu!
But there are benefits. Suddenly you can use the wire to wrap guys up on poles. You know, you're given the option to spare some regular guards if you're not particularly violent and fail at stealth. Of course, that's not the only thing the flail's good for. Red Ninja is easily the most violent game I've ever played on PS2. Forget Drakengard. Forget God of War. Red Ninja lets you hang people. We're talking body convulsions. We're talking choking noises. This game is awful. It's the blood cherry sitting atop the absolute mountain of corpses you make. Things irredeemably wretched, disturbing, and visceral from top to bottom. Feels far more real than necessary. And that's the thing. Red Ninja may have had arguably rough graphics for its era, or whatever, but it's a brilliantly realized game with lush, serene environments, genuine ambience where it's required, quaint little locales that allow the player to walk in and wreak utter havoc, ultra kill murder everyone in sight with ambitious, striking animations. Game's awesome. At some point, you stop looking for the next great thing and start looking for kicks, novelty, whatever this is. Not to mention the thing's physics can result in crazy stuff like this. I don't care if the game's messy. It's fun! You guys are mean, it's fun! You pick up a lot of items that alter the game in small ways. You can stun enemies with blow darts or toss kunai to make noise. Smoke bombs act like get-out-of-jail-free cards. There's a super jump consumable. Water shoes, which are completely missable, by the way, while the menu is a little clunky, so I can imagine casual players not really bothering to engage. A lot of opportunities open up within levels for players willing to experiment. It's a shockingly violent experience, enough that it was censored in Japan and Germany. Let's see. The Japanese version, body parts can no longer be cut off. The German version, blood splatters removed. If you get injured, the screen doesn't turn red. Pools of blood removed. Blood stains on the walls removed. Body parts can't be cut off. Corpses disappear after a couple of seconds. Stealth kills had all blood removed. Poor Red Ninja. You can be the juiciest peach in the orchard, and some people just don't like peaches. It's actually kind of impressive that Red Ninja failed to make headlines. Might have pulled it off around 2010, 2012-ish with the Fox News crowd, and not for no reason. Make no mistake. This was a controversy waiting to happen. I guess concerned citizens were tired from getting outraged over a manhunt. More than video game violence, Red Ninja is outright scandalous. Just take a look at this promotional art for Kurenai. They knew what they were doing. Did you know this game's popular with women? Probably because you can violently strangle men, to be honest. As the precursor, let's say, to Senran Kagura, Red Ninja, or more accurately, Kurenai, appeared in a 2004 issue of Playboy. A professional model was sent in Kurenai cosplay to the desks of various Japanese gaming editorial departments. These people ran a promotional campaign in an Akihabara maid cafe, dressing the waitresses up as Kurenai, which... Man! I'm sorry, Kurenai is not that kind of character. She's a human being. She has feelings. But Red Ninja is not a happy story and ends with Kurenai effectively exiled and in conflict with the man she loves, denied love. It feels questionably respectful to the character concept. Of course, I guess they couldn't run a maid cafe where they kill you. Maybe they should. Now, I don't think a lot of people roll credits on Red Ninja or care about anything as high-minded as respecting a character. Oh shit, boys, look out, the character respecter is logged on. People are shocked gamers treat games as just games and not art, when publishers and devs alike treated them explicitly as products. You know, Odin Sphere's Gwendolyn is a character perpetually escaping the control and ownership of other men, desperate to navigate herself and love on her own terms. And that didn't stop people from making purchasable statuettes to keep in your house. How them grapes taste, Gwen? And maybe I should cool it anyway. I knew what I was getting into, to some degree. Red Ninja marketed itself with a particular mechanic. The ability to attract the attention of guards by showing a little skin, wooing them into a false sense of security for the perfect moment to strike. See, this is what I'm talking about. I think Red Ninja may firmly be on the side of the young woman who feels like the only thing anyone cares about is their skin, their body. It's not a perfect mechanic. Sometimes it sets enemies off, sometimes it makes you instantly detected. I think it's meant to handle single enemies in lonely hallways when they refuse to move, but even that's a little questionable.
I showed my ass and he's mad. I didn't consent to this.
I especially like how she changes outfits later in the game. Like, whoa, you brought your ninja suit? Yeah, it helps me do my job better. then why weren't you wearing it earlier? I appreciate the skimpier outfit anyway, the way it leaves a little trail as you run, the way the stage palettes are constructed to ensure you're the brightest thing on the screen at any point. She stands out, she belongs there. It's solid. Even the costume swap maintains a bit of red, though it's less elegant, let's go with that. Like I said, it's a messy game. A lot of cool ideas, a lot of vulnerability to uncharitable criticism. A lot of vulnerability to legitimate criticism. For one, the thing's not really set up well for boss fights, but bosses you will fight. If Red Ninja leads as a stealth game, it abandons any real pretenses during these battles. It's you, your opponent, and your crappy little blade. Good luck. The first boss can be a challenge if you aren't minding your combat mechanics, but it's a good stumbling block, ensuring that players are tending to that aspect of play before much harder encounters. The Witch, I'm gonna let you in on a little secret here. You're supposed to blow up her statues 3 and target the trees with the Tetsugen to shake her down. That is when she isn't flailing around like a weird gibbering freak. But you can just pull yourself up and start swinging and jump right up on out of the boss room. You fight this dude, the armor god, a couple of times, and let me tell you, excruciating. Disgusting. Excuse me, I didn't realize I was playing Dark Souls. Snake Lady, excruciating. Disgusting. The issue here is Kurenai's friend here is poisoned during the fight, and it is shockingly precise, requiring expert precision to avoid getting bowled over by her fire attack and slashing her down in time. I like this cannon dude. Not because the fight is fun, and not even kind of because the fight is fun. By the way, in the script it says, show unfun, so I hope that's been communicated. No, I like the fight because you're meant to grapple his neck and hang him a few times to end the thing. You know, incorporate those mechanics, those early PS2 3D physics into the challenge. All of these fights are made easier if you take the time to level up your Tetsugen. Yeah, that's right. There's a set of weapon experience bars you'll see between story chapters, showing your general progress. If you don't engage in a particular way, if you split your attention between the blade and the flail, you might end up with a significantly weaker weapon that'll turn fights into a slog. It's doubly annoying because the flail doesn't unlock until partway through, meaning you'll already be leveling up the Tetsugen. Not really a great case to also level the flail, you know? I'm already fighting desperately to keep competitive with the hardest bosses and enemies, so why bother? Kurenai is meant to be a master of this weapon already. It is incredibly bizarre that anyone thought to include this system when they could have just flattened the damage values, ignored leveling outright. It's meant to be a measure of player choice, but it has no real benefits. So we've painted the picture of a game with issues, and admittedly, a lot of it was smoothed over because I ran the thing 3 times. It's the kind of game that sticks with you. Man, those animations were cool. I could have done better there. This part sucks, but man, that was so awesome. They say whether a game is good comes down to whether or not it has swag. The defense rests. Red Ninja's story isn't particularly well delivered, big surprise, and another easy dunk for reviewers. Budget voice acting always sets people off.
Lord Shinjen Takeda has spoken with clarity. We must have the blueprints! Am I the only one who understands the complexities of this ambitious cinematic masterpiece?
It's not fantastic, but the framing is clean, the models look good, cutscenes are either dramatic or action-heavy, and like you'd expect, the cinema-minded direction lends weight to something that's kind of budget and kind of amateur. You get the sense that they were trying to cram one medium into another, as the game quickly switches from powder keg moment to rapid escape play segment that lasts 20 seconds and has a fail state. Awesome, guys. It easily could have remained a cutscene, but when devs start incorporating filmic techniques into their games, we understand that they want to pull us into the frame, make us an active agent in the story. All at a time when games weren't quite able to provide that. Kind of breaks down when the protag's momentum is what it is, and jumping full throttle in sequence is easily more efficient than playing the thing realistically, but that's the beauty. The tension created by trying to hybridize the game, action and stealth, film and game. Red Ninja's story is basically a ninja flick brought to life on the PS2. The young pupil is ordered to recover something from the enemy, finds out there's more to the situation on both sides, she's reassured by friends and makes enemies of old ones, she struggles, she loses, and she exacts revenge on her enemies. Kurenai is a character in lockstep with her master, out of gratitude for her salvation and tutelage, who's made to choose to walk her own path when it contravenes the person she trusted above all else. It's worth mentioning that Red Ninja is effectively a Warring States period, romanticized historical drama, with the central conflict revolving around the empire of Shingen Takeda and the upstart Nobunaga Oda. Despite using an ultra mega gun as the contested MacGuffin is something that would apparently warp the conflict for one side without question, the story doesn't really interrogate the place of technology and ninja as a dying concept in that world the way many successful period pieces do, but the plot is largely personal, focused on Kurenai and her master, Chiyome. It's got the markings of a video game regardless of the traditions informing it. Bosses are weird, characteristic freakazoids straight out of the Resident Evil 4 and Metal Gear Solid 3 tradition. Never underestimate the narrative value of a really weird guy. It's got all the camp of its contemporaries too. Look at her go! Listen, when it comes to video games, I don't need the next great American novel. I need whatever this is. The plot devolves into a race against Chiyome as she attempts to usurp
Takeda's nephew,
the dweeb from earlier, and bring about the late Emperor's vision, something she tried to manifest by manipulating the very clan that ruined Kurenai's life. There's a lot of moving pieces in the background that don't quite connect in a tangible, meaningful way. People have called the thing cliche and hammy, but I think it says something true and beautiful regardless. Kurenai's story is an acknowledgement that you will make enemies for taking your own path, that you will find yourself alone and shamed for daring to do something as radical as trusting yourself and prioritizing what you believe is right. The price of your new life is your old one. One question's left. Is Red Ninja the worst ninja game? You already know the answer to that question. Doesn't make it good, but if we can praise Xenogears for ambition, we can do the same for this thing. It taps into familiar tropes and does things the other ninja games could never try. Won't catch Ryu Hayabusa extending his gigantinormous man-titties out for enemies, but Kurenai? Kurenai is willing to do what it takes to get the job done. How many ninjas get a sweet-bladed wire and actually have to interact with the environment? Listen, Ryu Hayabusa uses the walls as a stepping stone to murder.
To Kurenai, the stage itself is a canvas. Every room a painting.
Ryu Hayabusa has a story. Apparently. Red Ninjas has something to say. What I can't believe is just how awful I thought the game was before playing it how it would have been played by anyone else. It's all too easy to dabble in forces you don't understand and wind up with a completely warped view of something. So many games are made better on replay, if only because familiarity can smooth over the bumps. And that's all it took to jump the game up from the worst ninja game to
something I really like.
Hey, it's KBash. Huge thanks goes out to my $4 patrons. Check them out. Beautiful. And double special thanks goes to my extra generous patrons who are Adam Welch,
Air Pirates Sig,
Acropolis,
Alfred Coria,
All the Singularities,
Alpha 42,
Andrew,
Redacted,
Angel Rivera,
Anthony,
Aaron,
Arschwasser,
Ashley, my wife, my darling. I asked KBash to make you smile. Also, hi, Merrick,
Azrael,
Azura,
Axon 8,
Bear Skeleton,
Basement Dweller,
Bosch 7,
Ben M,
Beguile,
Big Papa Spray,
Blake Against the Machine,
Wargle Hargle,
Blossom Dante,
Boom Dead,
BH Operator,
Born in Shadow,
Brandon S,
Brandon Hesse,
British Gooch,
Cow,
Cajun Lady,
Pixar,
Can I cuss on here?
C-Dub,
Cat Girls Are Real,
Caesar T,
Hero Hero,
Court Fox,
Cordit,
Chris Bromo,
Cody Goldie,
Comfy Moogle,
Couch Moba,
Crabmonger, Fish Finagler,
Crashgers,
Crater,
Crispy J,
Moto 19D,
CW Glassworks,
Denny Pangos,
Danky Stag, Swaggy
David
Bat,
Castillo,
Dara,
Dash Granny,
Decode,
Deadward,
Dead,
Destrega,
Dingus Bat,
Doodle Flu,
Doug Prince,
DJ, Professor K,
Dr.
Cullen PhD,
Protagonist,
Elias,
Elpio,
Elsa,
Emperor Pickle,
Empty Tenchi,
Eric Monticello,
Excalibur Shines,
Nar,
Fail Knight, Ferns Maximum,
Fuzillion,
Forte Noir, Frog Vorbis,
Garen Guarantee,
Giggle Bite,
Glasses
Kohai.
Glyph Seeker.
9cat.
Dobo Bobo.
Goose 6112.
Gray, the darkest black.
Gargory.
Gucci Plant.
Hatsune Miku's Crack House.
Archive.
Demon. Game and Station.
Hermit J. Honey Mutts.
Horn Tiger.
How do you know?
Huey.
I just took 7 grams of magic mushrooms and now I'm lost in the woods.
I'm supporting KBash just because I wanted to make this part of the video longer.
Inferno galore. Ingenious Cloud.
IOBG.
I punched a sandwich.
It's not bad.
It's time to sue.
It's not good.
Ivy Ruth Langley.
Jack Hydrick.
Jacob.
Jalopy.
James.
Jank Dankins.
Jason Lasky.
Jaden. James Vaughn.
Jay Drito.
JL Savarus.
Jay Deus. JK Hedgehog.
John Bo the Joker.
Jordan Joyner.
Jorzy Burden.
Juicy Frost.
June.
Kadoken. Kaizeta Slow.
K-Chan.
KBash's best K. Keegan Too Cool.
Keith the Thief.
Kata Snack.
King Kuma.
Keith.
Knight Pike.
Clock.
K-Noe.
Cone 2020.
Rating.
Crazy Dark Chocolate. Ice.
Kyle.
Kyle.
Not that Kyle.
KZ Excellent.
Lady Weed.
Laundry Mom.
Lego Sid.
Lethal Nibbles.
Linkle.
Little Big Trouble.
Loathsome Dung Eater.
Why?
Low Fat Moger. Lucas Boyd.
Blood Mac James.
Lunati.
Magic Meows.
Mama Rollin.
Manapool.
Manic Pixie Space Pirate.
Now Fever.
Mara Ganger.
Marcules.
Marcus Rambles.
Maxwell B.
Maximum Dog.
Meaty Smash.
Maple Puppet. Mega Boy E Nasty. Metal Gear Gaseous.
Michelle Citrano.
Mike DeVere.
Mikusagi.
Moa.
Bobby Dobby. Big Titty Gop. GF Cooley.
Monochrome Only. Monochrome Rainbow.
Morgana Black.
Mori. Modi.
Mr. Pee Pee Poo Poo Kaka.
Mr. Yeety Dabface McYoink Bomb. Nyrenew. Nito Torpedo.
Neon Dwarf.
Nifty Rex. Not Nobel. Nuggy.
Okami.
Old Burgle. Old Man Cranberry. Omni Nerd Zero. Only LK. The Plant.
Oscar.
Paperlandy. PBK.
Pandemic Cowboy.
Pelagic Undulation. PK Gaming.
E-Mike.
Popular Hitman. Prismatic Dan.
Pringle Prongle. Pringle Prongle.
Probably
not Grady.
Project Darklight.
Punch Fighter Champion.
Honosaurus Rex. Quasar McDougal. Quillworth.
Raging Ataraxia.
Real Beans. Reggie Rodriguez.
Renteca
Bond. Ringed Relay.
Roy Londo.
RP Gamer. Ryan Machel.
Saigon Man. Salsa.
Salty Smasher.
Gabrius.
Scribe Slendy. Sakai no Awarda. Sensual Coder. Cephirium. Sexy Bionicle GF. Shot. Nintendo. Shut up, Leslie. Silver Bear 909.
Sin.
God!
Sir Doodles a lot.
Seriously tired of waiting in line.
Sir Newton.
Sir Slurps a lot. Skywardly. Sleepy Wabbit. Snart. Small Turtle House. Zeta Dad. Sock'em Bopper. Suckdolager. Space Lizard. Spider Dad. Squidged. Squishword. Star Night Sky. Streffin Battle. Super Dingus. Super Sandwich Guy. Teotoxin. George Chubbington. Terrence Swift. The Big Bubby. The Clown Prince of Cringe. The good Lord has blessed me. Hallelujah. The Green Loki.
The Crispy Boy.
The Peacemaker Pyro. The Salt Knight.
The Nomad.
The Real McCoy.
The Toasted One.
Big Dick Mystic.
Thresh.
Rips Heart.
Tiggles McGuffin.
Tim Lobster. Timid the Writer. Tony Jones. The Legend. Total Play. Travis Edwards. Whittle Chungus. Ty Guy 9001. Type A Grapefruit. Vid. Vacant Plaza. Valenris. Venom. Vice Pop. Video Gore. Vic. Joaquin, get right in my bag. Waposa. We are so KBash. Weed Trash. Waylon. Where am I? Help. Whiskey Dono. Widgie. Winter Solstice. Win TV. Wrenchim. Zanny Tanner. Travius. Yero 12. Yashichi. Yay Kundo. Zachary Livesey. Zachary V. Zanasso. Sane the Impure. Sane the Pure. Zed Slayer Gamer. Zero Salazar. Zenova. Cyberbunk. If you'd like to help support the show, unlock new long-form projects, and help me keep improving, check out my Patreon. We got lots more videos in store. Stay tuned for more. KBash out.